Talking track and field with Will Malde, the Golddiggers head coach. And Will, we got a couple of track meets to catch up on.
Absolutely. It's been a little bit since we've talked, and so it's good to have you guys back. And yeah, it's been kind of a rough go the past couple of weeks, but like we were talking earlier, it's just been nice to get a couple of meets going. And
rough go considering the weather and the postponements.
Exactly. Things keep moving, stuff gets canceled. It's been a rough go. But the last couple meets have had decent-ish weather, which has been nice and just good to get the kids out. So like you said, starting in Belfouche, we were able to go on the 17th. We originally weren't going to go to that meet because that was our prom. And we had all kinds of upperclassmen, that were struggling with that. And so we kind of made some concessions. We took mostly underclassmen to that meet. But I thought it was really great for them to be able to get a meet in and then to kind of have a meet to themselves a little bit as well. So they could kind of get in whatever events they wanted to, get a little more involved in some of those things. And that was pretty big. And I think we had some really good performances. One of the big things we saw, and I really want to give them some props between this meet and the meet that we had just the other day, James Pierce has just really come on for us. He's been one that's really fun to watch. When we were in Belfouche, he wanted to try a triple jump. He's all right long jumper for us. Had been in the high 18s, and it was decent. He's a sophomore, missed track last year like all of them, and so he decided he wanted to do some triple jump, and he had jumped, I think it was 32 or 33 feet in middle school. Oh. Yeah, and so we're like, okay, it's decent, and he tried it over there in Bell, and the first time he went, he was right around 36 feet, and that's his first kind of 3 prelim jumps. He was in the 36s, and I was like, that was a good day, nice job. I didn't think we'd really make finals, and our jumps coach was gone for the day, unfortunately, so I was kind of taking that over, and then he made it to finals. And all of a sudden, his first finals, jump in finals, he goes 39, 10 and a half. He added 3 feet on. Yeah, and all of a sudden, he's tied for first place. And just blown away because I didn't know this kid was going to do it. I hadn't triple jumped really. Did some in middle school. I was like, I'll just try it. And then all of a sudden, he's putting out some pretty big numbers. And so it was just really fun to see. Really proud of him. And then he went back in the 400 and ran a PR in that, and a 55-51, which is just, again, his best 400 he's ever run. So he just had a really good day. So I was really proud of him. It was another exciting day because we finally got to do some pole vault. We've been waiting a long time to get some kids going. Just because we're all so young. We're brand new in pole vault. We had no returning kids. And so we had a brand new coach as well, Jared Burleson, who started a little bit later into the season. And he was just getting some kids going. So it was the first time we had kids vaulting over there in Belfouche. And it was exciting. Clarissa Heisinger was our first girl to go there, and she cleared 6.6. She was really excited. Yeah, it was great for her. Moved her up, got her on that top 24 list in the state, so she loves seeing everything there. And really proud of her there. And Ethan Hess gave it a go, and he kind of struggled, but, it was his first meet, and so we're just excited to get them going, and be able to do some of that different stuff. So that was pretty fun there. All the freshman girl sprinters, like I said, we were trying to get them in events because a lot of our upperclassmen kind of filled some of those in these earlier meets. And so they got to jump in and kind of do whatever they wanted, kind of give them open season on whatever events they were interested in there. And all of them went and PR'd in at least one event. And so it was just really fun to see that growth. They were really excited. When you're a coach, especially with a really young team, that's what you like to see. The excitement around the sport, kids doing really well, and seeing that personal growth and the work they put in start to pay off more and more. And so that was really cool. So, and then Ethan Hess, freshman, another one that he's just kind of figuring things out. And so we talked about him pole vault, but his 400 and his 800, he had 2 more events on the day, and he PR'd in both of those. Mm-hmm. In his 800, he PR'd by 5 seconds. So he was pretty excited. He went out a little quick. I was a little worried. I was like, what are you doing there, buddy? But he came back strong and ran a pretty good second lap and PR'd by 5 seconds. So I couldn't be more proud of those kids over there in Belfouche.
That's the thing. These track and field coaches around here, they talk about how it's such an individual sport, and they get to show their stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas a football player or a basketball player in a particular game, they may not have an opportunity to run as fast as they can.
Yeah.
But here they do.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's been, I think, one of the biggest things is a lot of these kids, we have a bigger number than we've had out for years, Mm-hmm. And a lot of those kids, like you said, are team sport kids. And some of them are kind of getting some of those first tastes of what it's like to be in an individual sport, and be able to showcase their own talents. Or even we've had some great kids that are coming from middle school that they just aren't really sure what to do, right? Or they've started to just kind of grow up and mature a little bit here, physically and mentally and all these things. And they start to find stuff they're interested in and good at. And they just start to, we've been seeing it with a bunch of kids right now, really take off and really enjoy being able to kind of do their own thing and see that growth. I think they still love their team sports, and that's great. But this is really good for them too. Pretty excited about it.
And the Custer invite.
Yeah, thankful to have that one. We talked to the people that run on the Custer meet, and they had over 6 inches of snow on their track even yesterday when we were trying to have it. So glad that we could move it to the School of Mines. And it was a cold morning, little windy. But I think that the kids performed really well in that. And that's really exciting. We took our whole group down there. And again, with the jumping, if we want to go back to talking about James, I told you he went from 36 to 39 feet in triple jump, almost 40. Well, then he went and we had him jump again triple in rapid because he was really excited about it. And by the time he was done there, he extended it another 3 feet. And he's at 42.9 now. Which is one of the top marks in the state as of when we were looking yesterday. So it just blew me away. Again, just a kid that's really coming into his own. Same thing on the girls' side. We had a couple of girls try triple jump again. Both haven't done it since middle school. Allie Molman, she went 33.2 1/4. She had never been over 30 in middle school. It's the first time doing it in high school. As a sophomore, lost last year. Goes over 33 feet. And another freshman tried triple jump, I think, once in middle school. Came back and went over 31 yesterday. And they finished second and third in that meet in rapid. James won it in triple jump. So we didn't, I guess, know we were going to have these triple jumpers. But so far, it's really been working out for us. And it's nice to see because we've been stuck in this gym a lot. And so to see these kids go out and do that type of stuff in their first and second times jumping, it's just kind of blowing our minds as coaches. And it's really fun to see. David Morris, a junior for us, jumped really well early in the season. Hasn't long jumped a little bit. He missed that meet in Belfouche because of prom and different things. And so he went and jumped over 20 feet. He had never done that. It was one of his goals that he wanted to try and meet this year. And he went 20 feet, 6 inches. So that definitely moves him up and kind of where he's at in the state. And he's really excited. And now he got his eyes set on 21. And so pretty fun to see that. And Chloe Wisser is a junior for us, and it was kind of a funny story there. She didn't think she made finals in long jump, and I went over, and she was watching James triple, and I said, "Hey, aren't you in finals?" And she's like, "No, I don't think so. I only jumped 13.3. Why would I be in finals?" And I was like, "I'm pretty sure I heard your name announced." She runs over and asks the guy, and he's like, "Oh, we've been looking for you." So she takes off sprinting to go get her spikes, came back and PR'd in that, went 13.5. So for her, she's really excited, and that was really good. So, a couple other things that were fun for us is we ran a lot of relays yesterday. We hadn't had a lot of relays yet. We really hadn't had a chance. We had a girls 4x1 at Douglas that went pretty good, and wanted to run that all again. So that girls 4x1, we were trying to really get a faster time because they ran a 55 last time they did it, 55.4, I think. And what's rough is yesterday they were flying. They were running great. In that same heat that Belfouche went and set the new school record. They were trucking. They were doing great. And we were running really well. We were holding our stagger out in front of them, and then we got to our second handoff, and we had a little mix-up and dropped the baton.
Oh, no.
And, well, they had the presence of mind to let the other team get by, so we didn't interfere with anybody. Picked it up, got it, finished the race, came in fifth, which was crazy in the whole deal. They still came in fifth, and they still ran faster than they did in Douglas. Wow. Even after the dropping the baton. So what could have been, and so they're excited to run it again and really try and drop that time down because I think, obviously, if you don't have a baton drop, that time's going to be a lot quicker, especially in a 4x1.
Oh, yeah.
So really excited about that they were able to put a race together like that. And they ran a really solid 4x2. It's the same group of girls. Jocelyn Dirksen starts it out for us. Maya Lucero is our second leg. Jana Prince is a junior. She ran our third leg, and then Allie Molman has been our anchor for both those. And it's a real solid group of girls, real fast, and so it's fun to watch them run. Mm-hmm. On the guys' side, we had a couple of relays we were really excited about. We had a 4x1 that we put together. We didn't quite have all the top pieces we wanted in there, but those guys still ran really well. Ran 2 seconds faster than they did in Douglas, so that was exciting. And then we had a medley. Our boys medley came in third place, and so that was really fun to watch. And that was James Pierce. We actually had to pull him over to run the 800 right after he got done triple jumping. And then a little bit after that, we had a 4x4. and had a couple sprinters that I kind of pushed into that weren't all excited about the 4x4. They hadn't really run a lot of 400s in their careers, but David Morris is one of them that we pulled over. Ethan Hess, the freshman I was talking about in Belfouche, he had a good day pole vaulting. He went 7.6 yesterday, and then was the first leg of that 4x4. Anyway, that 4x4 was really fun because it went from Ethan to David to Landon Williams, and then James finished that out for us as well. They ended up coming from behind. I think in that last lap, James got the baton in 4th place, moved us all the way up into 1st, had a great race with Belfouche, and ended up winning that thing. And the whole group was really excited. It's a fun race to finish with. And so it was just a really fun day, filled with a lot of really good performances. And I was proud of our throwers because our throws coach actually was missing yesterday, unfortunately. But it was because he just had a little girl, so he was with his wife there, and so our throwers are kind of without a coach, and we were trying to help them out and make sure everything's going good. But Shayla, she's a junior, had a real good day throwing and PR'd in both of her throws. Actually PR'd in disc, if I remember right here, by over 6 feet. And then Carter Estes, he's our top boys thrower, he's a junior. He improved his shot or his discus by over 4 feet, throwing 98.6. So proud of those kids, kind of overcoming some of it without a coach, especially those disc throws. I don't know if you've been to the School of Mines. It's about it's a long hike up to the disc area. But I don't know, it was just a lot of fun. I think for our kids, it was really uplifting. I think they really had a lot of fun yesterday. They placed really well. A little bit smaller meet, and I think so. Confidence, I think, is pretty high, and they're pretty excited, which is something we needed going into about this last month of this season.
And a nice facility there at the School of Mines, too.
Oh, so glad they can move it there. That track is great. To jump there, throw there, everything. It's just some of the best stuff around, and so we're very thankful to be able to have a meet, and then on top of it, to be able to have it there.
Yeah. Well, Coach Malde, we really appreciate you taking time to talk about the Golddiggers here on Black Hills TV.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys, for coming over. It's always great to have you here and be able to talk about the kids.